Where is it? Come over here. How come I can never get it?
Good thing I just muted you out.
It just doesn't come up for me.
You see it?
Hurry up so I can shout out. You're a good boy. Your mama's a good boy. I might need you to do some.
Do some what?
Oh shit! Come here, John.
What? Make no big deal. I can share it. You just go to your show. What?
I need you to do my other people.
What other people? What other people?
Not my groups, my friend things. These are just my groups.
I don't know what you're talking about, your friends.
How do I go to that?
I don't know. Just go to your...
I can't hear you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit to
This sharing thing's getting out of control here.
Well, I know. Why do you get like that? I don't get it.
I'm just saying, it's...
I just lost the whole thing.
That's just do your show. It'll be fine. I'll share other places.
Good.
I'm opening up the screen now.
Okay. Welcome to the Brew tonight. You are listening to the Brew on TIBN, which is Truckers Independent Broadcasting Network. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's had a great week. It's been a very weird week for us with everything that's been going on with the government, with just everything. It's just been a tough week. So, as we go along, we have a lot to cover tonight. Hopefully, we can get it all in. Hopefully, I might not want to get it all in. I don't know. As you can see, I'm the only one in the studio tonight because Nurse Patty is off somewhere in Maine. She decided to go for a flight, and, we keep telling her this time of year, Maine is pretty tricky. So, Nurse Patty, she don't care. We also want to talk about Baby Doll. She's down in Washington. She went down there to do a fair for, what is it? Oh my God, it's terrible. For Trucks with Room to Spare. I can't even think tonight. she's all about doing that this evening. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that went for her. I don't know if she's going to call in tonight. I'm not quite sure. We have to wait and see. What else was going on? I'm trying to think. Oh, well, we'll get to some of the big stuff in a little bit, but I want to remind you guys, before we get started, please support the following groups. TUF, which is Truckers United for Freedom. There's so much going on. You're going to have to hit our website to find out, and some of the stuff we're not going to put on the website, so you'll have to instant message us or get a message to us that you're interested in helping, and we'll get more into that shortly. We help Sovereign Roads with Ron Stinson, really nice guy. Truckers for Christ with Stephen Myers. We wish Stephen Myers would come back and get some time to come back on. We really enjoyed his shows, so hopefully that will be taking place pretty soon. Truckers Back the Blue, check that out. Truckers Final Mile with Robert Palm. They need all the help they can get, so if you're looking for a charity, that would be a really great place to start. Trucks with Room to Spare with Shelley Conway. Real Woman in Trucking with Desiree Wood, and She Trucking. You can find us on YouTube, Spreaker, Twitter. Please share and say like. Hi Bruce, how are you tonight? Thanks for joining us. There's a lot going on. And first we're going to get some trucking news out of the way. As you all know, knowing the hazardous roads in advance can make us all safer. Omnitrax, data scientists have created a life map of the U.S. that shows the most dangerous locations for commercial vehicles based on aggregated customer and third-party data. Trucking can be dangerous in Denver for even the best professional drivers, from dealing with distracted drivers to crumbling infrastructure and congested roads. Truck drivers have a lot to contend with as they work to deliver and pick up freight across the U.S. Knowing some of the more dangerous roadways and intersections before they get there can help keep fleets safer. This is according to Peter Sarnell, the lead data scientist of Omnitrax. To help create more awareness on the roads, Sarnell constructed a database of dangerous locations across the U.S. and Canada, using a predictive model and third-party data shows the most hazardous driving areas. Areas where commercial vehicles have a recent history of excessive speed, accidents, rollover, hard braking, and low clearances are noted on this map. He says we have a lot of customers and we provide a lot of customer service for customer data. But we have not done a whole lot of looking across customers and aggregating that data. We thought this might be a good way to look across to all our customers. The data gathered by Sarnell and detailed in a recent blog post and his team are laid into Omnitrax navigation app, which we will call Google Maps for the trucker. The collected safety-related data were aggregated so that the drivers using this app could see potential hazards on their routes in real time. Our third-party map vendor and our GPS team refresh this quarterly because things change. Roadways are improved, driver behavior changes, the landscape and environment of roadway changes. So this is always changing and being updated. The initial data shows that the most hazardous locations are in the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, Florida, and Texas. Omnitrax has created a heat map that collects all these hazardous places per 1,000 miles of state roads to see which states have the highest density of unsafe locations. The heat map shows that Maryland has about 40 hazardous locations per 1,000 state road miles. Baltimore alone has 876 hazardous areas, most of which are accident zones. Florida follows closely behind. Virginia and Pennsylvania are among the most hazardous dense states for drivers along the East Coast. West Nevada has the most hazardous locations per 1,000 miles. Sarnell believes this database of hazardous locations will be a big help to drivers working in unfamiliar areas, more so than the yellow warning signs about slowing down, dangerous curves, etc. We tend to neglect a lot of those warning signs because we see them all the time, he says. For example, if you're driving down a freeway and you're getting ready to exit, you see the yellow sign and you might anticipate that is a normal exit. I'm going to slow down and that curve won't be that sharp, or I'll get a stoplight and a typical roadway. But what if it isn't the typical exit ramp? What if we can't see the curve we're approaching and it is a blind curve? If we haven't been here before, it's an unexpected turn, and then maybe it's too late, and now you're facing a potential rollover. What this alerting does is so additional warning sign that the drivers need to be aware of something ahead. No matter where they travel across North America, professional drivers are going to encounter hazards. This provides fleets the ability to put their drivers on high alert as they navigate through these locations, he said. They can do that just by zooming in on this map. It's really difficult to put your drivers on high alert 100% of the time, but it's very beneficial if you can ask them to be on high alert when it's a risky place that they're driving through. So I think that would be an excellent app for all drivers to really to have. I think even in a car that would be awesome for four-wheelers, because it really affects everybody. Now, as we all know, with this COVID, the FMCSA has extended their COVID regulatory relief. The hours relief for drivers and fleets providing pandemic-related assistance, first issued in March of 2020, has now extended through November of 2021. With COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations back on the rise, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration extended its pandemic emergency declarations through November. The agency announced this on August 31st. First issued in the early days of COVID-19, the emergency declaration has extended and modified several times since March. The order offers hours of service relief for commercial drivers and fleets. This latest declaration expires on November 30th, 627 days after the initial COVID emergency was announced. Although the number of COVID-19 cases began to decline in the U.S. following a widespread introduction of vaccinations, the Delta variant and lagging vaccination rates reversed that downward trajectory. I'm not too sure about that, but the HOS relief applies to drivers and fleet transporting essential supplies. So guys, you really have to know what they're looking for to go under that, and that the extension and amendment of this thing, this is what it is. It's related to livestock and livestock feed, medical supplies and equipment related to testing, diagnosis, and treatment of COVID-19, vaccines, consistent production and medical supplies and equipment, including amyloid supplies, kits for the administration of vaccines related to the prevention of COVID. Supplies and equipment necessary for community safety, sanitation, and prevention of community transmission of COVID-19, such as masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, soap, and disinfectant. Funny none of that was given to the drivers, but anyways, food, paper products, and other groceries for emergency restocking to dispersonate to DCs or stores. Gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and ethyl alcohol. Supplies to assist individuals impacted by the consequences of the pandemic. In other words, building materials for individuals displaced or otherwise affected due to the emergency. Direct assistance does not include non-emergency transportation of qualifying commodities or routine commercial drivers, including mixed loads with non-minimal quantity of qualifying emergency relief added to obtain the benefit. To be eligible, the transportation must be both of qualifying commodities and the instant to the immediate restoration of those essential supplies. The agency said that fleets could not require tired drivers to operate commercial vehicles. Okay, I don't know if the dispatchers get that too often, but I wanted to say something good about what's going on. Hey, Haiti and Jay Bird, glad to have you join us tonight. There were 5 good things that happened in trucking. I wanted to say something good tonight because there's some things we're going to talk about that won't be too good, but let's start with some good things. I just thought that might be nice for a change. Now, #Truckload Strong needs your help. To kick off National Truck Appreciation Week, Truck Driver Week, September 12th to the 18th, which just started, we are commencing the 20th anniversary of 9/11. The truckload centers, the TCAs, will be holding a parade, and they had that parade the other day. It was just 25 trucks, but it was pretty cool. If you're a truck driver, anybody could have went. So that happened. That was one good thing I thought was really nice, trying to honor some of our drivers. The next one is the Southern Recipe Pork Rind Uses TikTok Celebrate. The Southern Recipes annual Truck Driver Appreciation Campaign. The company will shine a light on the truck driving category and support St. Christopher's Truckers Development and Relief Fund with a $5,000 donation. From April 15th to September August 15th to September 18th, consumers are invited to help raise funding and awareness for CES through interactive, fun, and highly engaging TikTok campaign that affords them the chance to win each cash prizes and pork rinds by lip syncing along with our selected truck drivers and weekly voting for their favorite TikTok driver video. So that I would like to see that. The cash prizes, you have a chance to win $1,000 and 6 months of free pork rinds. What would I do with 6 months of free pork rinds? Ooh, I don't know. I just want the money, not pork rinds. They could give that away. So thank you, St. Christopher's Truckers. Really fun. I think that's a fun thing for the drivers. The next one was tacos for truckers to come to Auburn Truck Stop on September 16th, guys, from 11 to 5 p.m. Convoy Technologies will team up with Flora and Lily Mexican Kitchen to offer free meals for commercial drivers at the rest stop at MM 325 on northbound 169 in Auburn, Alabama. They will be calling the event Tacos for Truckers 2. After the first event like this, company was held in April of 2020 to help drivers that really couldn't get to a restaurant during COVID. That was an awesome thing then, so this is really good. Drivers will be able to choose among tacos, burritos, bowls, nachos, and quesadillas. The food truck will be stocked to provide up to 400 meals throughout the day, with Convoy Technology will also be offering drinks and care packers for the drivers. Hey, these drivers didn't stay home during the lockdown like the rest of us. Convoy Technologies President Ron Harper said they kept getting up every day and hitting the road. That's why we still have food on our shelves at the grocery store. That's why our doctors and nurses were getting the supplies they needed to take care of our friends and loved ones. And they're still going full speed today, and then some. We should be grateful to them. We felt buying them lunch was the least we could do. Well, that's a big thank you to them for thinking of the drivers on Taco for Two Truckers. I think that's great. And then Love's Travel Store donated $100,000 to St. Christopher's Trucking Fund. Love's Travel Stock has donated another $100,000 to the St. Christopher's Trucking Development Relief. Love's first donated to St. Christopher in April of 2020 when the company gave $100 to help drivers during the COVID pandemic. Professional truck drivers kept America moving, and this is one way we're thanking them for all they do for our country, said Jenny Lohmeyer, Executive President and Chief Culture. St. Christopher's is a great organization that helps drivers every day, and we're glad to continue to support the organization. The Relief Fund helps with expense like rents, mortgage, utilities, insurance, and vehicle payments, as well as provides health and wellness programs for the driver. The trucking industry is the backbone of our economy, and professional drivers are the heart of this industry. We depend on these drivers every single day, and they can depend on St. Christopher's Trucking Fund every single day, said Shanika, Director and Development for SCF. We are humbled by the continued generosity of Love's Travel Stops and the commitment to ensure men and women of this industry have support when they need it most. Thank you for being a hero to our highway heroes. Our drivers are heroes. They need more recognition. And thank you to Love's for $100,000 is quite a bit of money. I know they make a lot, but that is still a lot of money. 2 donations in less than a year for, what's that equal, $200,000? Thank you. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I hope everybody else feels the same way, and you get to go. We don't have any Love's trucks up here in New England, I don't think. You know? The next thing was Phillips Connect launches a wireless on-demand cargo camera. Now that was kind of interesting, because I think I would have liked that a few times when I opened up my trailer before everything came flying out. According to this company, the solar-powered camera can monitor and report the quality of the load, allowing for safety analysts to be conducted before opening the doors to unload. Phillips Connect has introduced an interior cargo camera, Cargo Vision. Well, what a name, Cargo Vision. That reminds me of some movie. That captures the status of the load in real time. According to the company, the 100% solar-powered camera monitors can report the quality of the load. Green means safe, and red means unsafe, before the doors are open for unloading. With this information, actions can be taken to safeguard against injury. Currently available, interior trailer cargo cameras tend to be complex and pretty expensive. commented Jen Epler, the EVP of Philips Connect, we took a different approach, developing a very effective, affordable interior cargo camera that our fleet customers can install to monitor their trailer loads for unsafe conditions or verify the load condition without a large investment in money and time. The Philips Connect Cargo Vision solution can be installed in as little as 15 minutes. The 1080 cargo images are continually captured to be delivered on demand in a pre-programmed time interval or driven by event motion or door open, close via Bluetooth connected to the Philips Connect Trailway Gateway model. Philips Connect Cargo Vision will be exhibited during the American Trucking Association Technology and Maintenance Council annual meeting on that's going on through September 12th through the 16th at the Huntington Convention Center in Cleveland, and Philips will have their booth number will be booth number 2038, and it'll be installed on a wheelchair so you can take a look at it. So that might be another good, interesting safety measure. So, now to get to a few other things. I mean, we know that first came out last week, came out on Thursday, was can employees require COVID vaccines? Well, they're not supposed to, according to, you can't ask if I'm vaccinated. That was protected by HIPAA. But now, according to what happened on Thursday afternoon, I don't know how they're going to get around it because it's nobody's business. Your medical history through HIPAA is your own business. It's nobody's business at all. But thanks to our wonderful, I hope you guys are getting my sarcastic attitude. As our president, Sleepy Joe, he has mandated that everybody needs to have that vaccination. And who are the unvaccinated? What kind of people are they not to get vaccinated and take care of our fellow man? That's just terrible. That's just horrible. Well, I'll tell you, it's getting pretty sad out there. But before we get to that, I wanted to read something that most people should know about. The CDC has admitted that the COVID mortality rate in U.S. is half what was initially projected. Centers for the CDC and prevention appear to have upwardly revised the number of people in the United States who have contracted the virus to a total around 39.7 million. For those who may not realize, this is good news. The mission came out as a part of a study examining how close Americans might be to reaching herd immunity. Okay, with much of the current emphasis has been on vaccines, contracting the virus and developing antibodies is understood to confer with natural immunity. Several large studies have shown that among individuals who are super positive from prior SARS infections, the COVID-19 incidence is reduced by 80% to 95%. Similar to vaccine efficiency estimates, the CDC analyzed blood donations from all 50 states, working with 17 blood collection organizations to test 1.4 million samples. The researchers found that 80% of the U.S. population aged 16 and up had some form of immunity, although they hesitated to say that the country had reached the critical mass needed to declare herd immunity. The big surprise, however, was the number that determined to have already contracted the virus. The survey led by the CDC also indicates that about twice as many people have been infected with the virus as have been officially counted. Ironically, the left-wing propagandist network continued its efforts to spin the news against vax-resistant red states by burying the shocking discovery. For a scientific standpoint, however, the data may force rational people to reevaluate the COVID panic mongering if they haven't already done so. The U.S. mortality rate of 1.6 falls below the global rate, which is slightly over 2%. That is a substantial difference from the rate of over 3% that was once hyped. While it does not put COVID on par with the flu per se, it does give it a lower death rate for those over 50 than hepatitis A, which has not led to widespread lockdowns, school closures, or vaccine mandates. The study will continue through December, although it's cautioned that it did not account for the different variants, such as Delta. They are now being hyped to justify pushing vaccines booster shots. So this is how they're going to keep it going. They're just keeping it going and keeping it going and keeping it going. So, you know, in our country, right now, with all this America's cancel culture, we thought it was bad. I mean, most of us normal, everyday Americans, hey baby doll, oh, she's headed home, oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Cancel culture has been saying a lot of things. We cancel this, you know, you can't say the word gay, you can't say, there's so many words we can't say anymore, there's so many things we can't, you know, you can't make jokes anymore, I don't know, there's just, everything's being canceled. You know, like the other day, when the NFL started their games again, and I was very disappointed in this, and I hope most people are disappointed, they, instead of playing the national anthem, they played the black national anthem. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't know that this country had two national anthems. I didn't know how bad this cancel culture has become ingrained in our society. I'm looking forward to, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I think it's time that we stand up and we've had enough. I actually have had enough. I know a lot of people have had enough. I'm angry and I'm disappointed and I'm actually bewildered. You know, we have groups out there, well, we'll say it, BLM, Antifa, Proud Boys. I mean, I'm sure there's many more. You know, if you are a Trump supporter, you have been labeled, if you are a Republican, never mind if you're a Trump supporter, because honestly, what the Democrats don't realize is that some Republicans didn't vote for Trump, and some Democrats didn't vote for Biden. So you can't really use two parties to say all Republicans are, what do we call John, racist? I think we're racist. We're terrorists. We're American terrorists. Terrorists, you're just a terrorist if you're come from if you're red state or these are the terrorists.
I think the new term is domestic violent extremists.
Oh, there we go. Domestic violence extremists, yes. Because we didn't vote the way we were told. I grew up in a country, and I grew up knowing what we the people, our Constitution says, you know, the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, that all came about because, let's see, it was Titanic. When we first came to this country, we came to this country to get away from a tyrant king. So we came here, we started our own. Remember, you know, United States is just a very young country. We go through a lot of learning stages. We don't have some of the best history, but all countries are that way. It's not just the United States. And what bothers me about this cancel culture was when I was listening to this and I heard there was two national anthems. Once again, back in the 60s, I don't know, there's a lot of people out there who walked with Martin Luther King. For us, for equality, I was a big protester in the 70s for the National Organization of Women. We protested for equality. We fought mostly in the labor because we wanted the same pay for the same job. We did not do it by putting men down. We did not do it with putting vaginas on our heads. None of this stupid, foolish stuff. But you know, when I was looking at this, and I'm looking at what's happened, you know, we fought in so many wars. The first war in this country was called the American Revolution. It didn't say it was for the French Revolution, didn't say the Irish Revolution, the English Revolution, the Black Revolution, none of that. It was the American. Anybody that lived in this country is considered an American. And at the time, most people were born here, people were still coming here, and they wanted to be Americans. People are still, actually, literally, people are dying to get into this country because they feel that America represents freedom. Freedom for them to choose who they want to be, what they want to be, freedom to have a home of their own, freedom to prosper. That's all being taken away. And if people can't see that, it's an absolute shame. And I'm watching this, and for the last, I'm going to say, there was a lot of hope when we had a black president, but I feel that has because such diversity among blacks and whites, because here we thought we'd have this man come in, he was black, he's gonna bring everybody up, and it separated more people than it brought up. And even today, our Democratic our Democrats in the White House have done nothing but separate the people. First, they kept telling us that every white person was systematic racist, which we're not. White children are being taught that they're racist, and little black children are being taught that they're the victims. Okay, this goes way back past the 60s when we fought for this. Martin Luther King must be rolling in his grave thinking, how did this happen again? How did everything we fought so hard for is going backwards? How is it that a member in Congress can kneel down for a man? I'm sorry that he got killed by the cops. That was a horrible death, but he was no hero. He was a drug addict. He was a criminal. And any man out there that has a pregnant wife, when a man would hold a gun to her stomach and a knife to her stomach and give her in a chokehold, that's not a hero. That's a coward. And when we see people in our government kneel and then give them American flag, are you kidding me? We just had 13 men died over in Afghanistan, and Nancy Pelosi would not even read their names and give them their due respect in Congress. That's what the American people are up against. Totally up against. If you think for 1 minute that you have rights in this country, you better think again. With the police quitting their jobs, doctors and nurses are walking off the jobs, teachers are walking off the jobs. Teachers they want to teach. They want to teach the right things. Systematic CRT is not the right thing. I myself could no longer look at a parent in the face and teach them that their white child is systematic, or that black parent, that your kid's always going to be a victim because of the color of his skin. This is just bullshit, people. And you should be angry. We all should be angry. We're probably going to get cut off the air because I have a few things I want to say. I'm angry. Now, this used to be a really strong country. We were respected, we were loved, and now we're a laughing stock because of the president we have, the people we have in Congress, some of our senators and our representatives. Wow, we're slowly giving them the rights to our freedom. That mandate that our president made that all people have to be vaccinated. Well, I gotta say, who the hell are you to make that decision? And if I hear one more person say, the unvaccinated is making me sick, well, I hate to say this, I could say, well, the vaccinated are making us sick, because the CDC and the doctors have come out and said there have been more people vaccinated in the hospitals than the unvaccinated, but they're turning that narrative around to make everybody go get a shot. Well, if you don't want a shot, fine. If you want a shot, that's fine. But quit with the frickin' bullshit. I mean, it's terrible. And for our president to say to the whole world, how did he say it? His patience is thin now. His patience. He's not my dad. Who the hell is he to talk like this? Do they forget who they work for? Do they forget that those buildings in Washington belong to the people, not to them? Do they understand who pays their salary? I think they forget that. I think they really forget that. I was watching, for the last 2 years, we have watched groups burn down. We watched the BLM and we watched Antifa burn cities, destroy businesses, destroy people's lives, and they have killed people. They killed more people and more racial discourse than they did, and I can't say mostly in the 60s because so much went on, but this is disgusting. Nothing happened to them, okay? We had the people go into the Capitol building January 6th, and if you watch the video, some people went in because they were asked to go in. They opened the gates and said, come on in. Unfortunately, you get the few rebel-rousers who got out of hand, or whatever they did. A cop got shot, a young woman got shot. There was a lot of, I know there was a lot of lying going on. I for one, as an American, I want to see all the tapes. I want to see all the videos that the people put out there. I want to see a bipartisan commission on that. And I'm really tired of hearing of how these terrorists did this. You get mad at these white folks that went in and did something, and there's black folks there too, because they're all pissed too, because they've had enough. But it was okay for BLM to burn down parts of Washington. We saw the stores burnt down. We saw a whole city block burned down. Burnt. Those people that own those businesses and the billions of dollars these groups are causing, I don't know. But we can't say nothing now, because if I say something, then I must be a racist because I can't say anything against what they want us to say. But guys, it's time. It's really time that we get angry. We start getting non-complacent. You know, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not standing up for your country, maybe you shouldn't be in this country. You know, there was a woman in China, her name was Zhao Wei, and she was a billionaire, and she was a famous Chinese actress. Okay? She was one of the nation's 1.4 billion most popular and well-known citizens of this modern area. But last week, she was canceled. Everything that she has done, everything she has said, all of it's gone. Gone. They can't find her. There's no way. They can't find her. She's gone. So just think, if the Chinese are doing that and can get rid of these people like that, what do you think is going to happen to us? What do you think is going to start happening? We're going to get canceled, because if we say anything against our government, people are starting to get arrested. What does this remind me of? There was another country that went through this, wasn't there, John? In the 1940s, there was this group of people that they went after, that they had everybody in their communities looking for and going after. It's just like this vaxxed and unvaxxed. If you're vaxxed, you have a right to say something to the unvaxxed. Now, if you lived in Germany, if you were Jewish, what did they do to you? They had people hunting down the Jews because they were Jewish. So, are we going to give little stars to the unvaccinated people? How about the people who can't be vaccinated? They have allergies. How about people that have serious medical conditions that can't be vaccinated? What about them? Or do we just throw away people? I actually had someone tell me that he thought Biden was good. He did a good job in Afghanistan, and I said to him, well, I think on the way out, 13 military people died, and he actually said to me, you got to take the good with the bad. Is that what America's coming to? Lives can just be thrown away? And then I said, well, what about the 1 in 3 immigrant children that are missing? They're missing. They came into America, and now they're missing. Oh, well, things happen. How about the 3 dead children they found on a bench inside the cage? Who knows how many days they were laying there dead? Those are children. What is going on in our country? But you know, the good part about our country is we have good men in our country, and we have good women. We have women that stand behind their men. We have men that are going to start taking their places. Our government may not like it, but most of all, we have over 4 million truck drivers in this country. We have probably a million and a half drivers that have stopped driving. that are either retired or just stopped driving because of financial situations, because driving is a hard job. So, I'm thinking, and this has been brought up, maybe it's time for the drivers to do something. Okay, there is a plan. There have been very prominent men discussing what the drivers need to get together, and we need to solve this problem. We need to take back our country, the country that we know and love, the one we pledge every day. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No more of this, oh, we're not going to say the pledge because that hurts my feelings. I can't look at the American flag because it makes me feel uncomfortable. If you look at our flag and it makes you feel uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I'm going to be like the rest of them. You don't need to be here. Go to China. Hey, go to North Korea, because I'm sure they'll let you speak out what makes you feel uncomfortable over there without any repercussions. What do you think, John? You think that's a good place to go?
That'd be a great place to start sending people. By the way, I happen to notice it doesn't say the white United States of America in the Pledge of Allegiance. It just says the United States of America, meaning everybody.
It says, that's right. United States means everybody. Not black, not white, not brown, not red, not yellow, not pink, not purple. You know, there was a teacher out in California who thought she was going to be really funny. She took down the American flag because it made her feel uncomfortable. Instead, she put up the pride flag, and she had the kids standing and pledging to the pride flag. I found that to be absolutely disgusting. Not because it's the pride flag, I don't care what you do, I don't care who you sleep with, I don't care. But we have an American flag for a reason. We have a national anthem. If people listen to the words, listen to it, and our flag was still air. Bombs bursting in the air, and through the night, there we were. We were still there. When you think of World War I and World War II, what our men went through, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, what they're going through now in Iraq, Afghanistan, Beirut, you could just think. Without those are heroes. And I'm going to say that another hero, I am so tired of honoring or seeing this George Floyd bullshit. You know, I mean, I had someone actually say to me, well, you know, you don't understand. We have to teach our black kids to be afraid of police. Well, you know, you idiots, we do too. Don't think for 1 minute a white mom, a black mom, we all tell our kids, boys and girls, the same thing. In fact, we usually tell a lot of our white girls, if a cop pulls you over, don't roll your window all the way down. Or drive your car to the nearest police station. There have been more rapes to white girls from cops than's ever reported because they open the door for some cop that pretends to be a cop. Okay? That's a big thing. We tell our daughters, hey, don't open the door. If you're in the city, drive to the police station. So he pulls you out and you get pissed off, but at least there's other cops around and you can say, I was scared, I wasn't sure who he was, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Protect yourself. You know, we tell our sons, cop pulls you over, shut your fucking mouth. Put your hands on the wheels, shut up. And tell your friends in the car to shut up. And hopefully, if you're smart enough, you're not going to have an open bottle of beer or a joint in the car, because you're all going to get it. They're going to take you out, and sometimes the cop will slap you upside the head, especially if he knows your parents. You're getting slapped upside the head. Yes, we all teach our kids this stuff. And trust me, some of these parents, when they find out the cops pull them over, oh my God, they're going to get it worse at home. But I was saying, we have heroes in this country. We have many heroes. We have over 4 million heroes. We have our truck drivers who are heroes. They keep our country going. When you want to go in and you want to buy a little birthday present for your little grandson or granddaughter, if it's not on the shelf, you get pissed off, and they always blame it on the truck driver. But right now, with ports closed, a lot of things aren't coming. It's not the truck drivers. This is all government infused. So, truck drivers, I need to gather. We need to get all our groups together. We need to bring this down. No more mandating. No more telling a driver what the driver can do or cannot do. I would like to know how many people are listening that would like to have a camera on them 24/7 when they're at work. How many of you would like that? When you have those new ELDs, you have the ones that have cameras, and someone's always watching you. If you step on your brake too hard because the car in front of you brakes, you get a little notice saying, oh, you just braked hard, and the insurance company sends you a little thing. The scrutiny that our American truck drivers have to go through is, how do you say that word? It's despicable. Nobody has to work under those conditions. And we're very lucky that these drivers have been doing it. So I think it's time to call for the truck drivers to have unity. They need to get their, I'm going to say this and it's not going to be polite, they need to get their dicks out of the dirt, stop trying to be the cool top guy, get together with all the groups, figure this out, because truck drivers could stop this country. They could stop this shenanigans that's going on. We know they're not allowed to strike, but guess what? The government's not allowed to tell us what we could do with our bodies. And when we start giving our bodies over to the government, we're screwed.
Nobody can force you to work.
Nobody can force you to work either. You know, Martin Luther King Jr., one of his quotes was, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. Do you understand what he means by that? I'll say it again. This is from Martin Luther King Jr. One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. And that's what's going on. We have unjust laws. And Benjamin Franklin said, those who give up safety and give up their freedom deserve neither. So if you're sitting at home and you're not doing anything, you don't want to participate, I don't want to mock, I don't want, I can't do that, I can't take confrontation, I can't do this or that, so, instead of being a lion or a tiger, I'm going to be a sheep. I'll just follow, I'll just stay in my house and hide. Well, people can hide, you can be the little sheep all you want, but I know our truck drivers are going to come through. I know they're going to do the right thing. And it's time. If Australia can do it, if other countries can do it with their drivers, we're United States of America. We are the biggest country that has freedom in this whole world. We stand for freedom. We stand for personal rights. Our amendments help that. But if we keep going the way we're going, none of those amendments in that Constitution, nothing's going to mean anything, because the government is just taking everything we have. But a lot of people like the government because the government keeps giving money away. And who the hell's money? What do you think that's coming from? That's coming from your pocket and my pocket. It's not coming from the government. That's our money, which we all out there working our asses for. How many hours does a driver have to put in to bring home $500 or $600 a week? Figure that out. Especially a lot of those OTR, especially a lot of those girls, women drivers, they're working their butts off. Because I can bet you they're not making the same contracts they are with men. Even though the people will say, well, they have to. No, they don't. And I know that for a fact. They put distractions. They're putting distractions in front of our faces so we don't have to see how many rights we're losing on a daily basis. The next one is the abortion issue. Well, you know something? Big screaming about that. My choice, my body. Shot should be the same thing. My choice, my body. Nobody in this government should be telling us what to do with our bodies when it comes to our medical. Nobody. And as far as abortion's concerned, that's a private thing. That's between a doctor and a woman. It shouldn't be decided on by anybody else but them. Same with the shot. Same with anything. If anything medical, should be done with doctors. But unfortunately, that's a whole other issue probably for next week. How come our doctors cannot be doctors anymore in the United States? That's a whole new issue. We'll have to say that at a different time. So drivers, If you want to, please join us. Be brave, be Americans, because we are the heroes. We really are. You take that for a few minutes and you remember, if you've had enough, if you're saying to yourself, I've had enough, F this crap, enough is enough. You can, if you do not belong to a group, if you belong to a group, contact your group leader. Tell them that, you're done with it. We gotta get together. There are some groups, they are starting to meet. There is a plan in place. If you want to be a part of that, we would all love to have everybody. We want to need as many people as we can. You can join Truckers United for Freedom. Go to that website and join, and you can get the latest on that. You can get with your group leaders. There's so many groups out there. You can talk with them. Tell them to get with the people that are making this plan, because we have to have one plan. There has to be a plan, and we have a plan. There is a plan in place. And we just need drivers. We need to unify drivers. We don't care if you're in the union. We don't care what type of driver you are. If you're a company driver, if you're an owner-operator, whatever type, if you're a bus driver, if you're a taxi cab driver, if you're just a four-wheel driver and you've had enough, join us. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, you'll be invited to join us also, because America needs to take America back. And I'm sure I'm going to get cut off the air shortly because I am not part of their narrative, so I'm probably going to
forgot the 3%ers.
Yeah, the 3%ers, yeah. So if you're tired of the tyrannical bullshit from this president's given us, and obviously you can tell it's really not him. He can read a great teleprompter. And that's that. So please join us. But before we leave tonight, because I know we're losing on time, my time would come up. Hate that. I bought a new Fitbit and it never works. But anyways, on time is 6:50. Well, this week, my dumbass of the week. This is something else. This is who we have in Congress. This is why I said the true heroes have to stand up, because people like this just can't go on anymore. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is my dumbass of the week. She has used a phrase that has turned her into a national laughingstock. When AOC is front and center, it is never good news. Never good news for the Democrats. OC even managed to turn a story Democrats thought played to their advantage into a fiasco. And she used this one phrase that turned it right around for them all. She appeared on CNN, ranting and raving about the pro-life law in Texas that bans abortions after 6 weeks and does not allow for massive pro-abortion loopholes like exceptions for rape and incest that eliminate meaningful pro-life protections. During her tirade about the law, OC claimed, now ladies, you're going to love this, and so won't men, she claimed men could get pregnant, stating that the Republican Party wasn't really pro-life because its members did not support a cradle-to-grave socialist welfare state for people who do give birth. When we talk about the law that was passed in Texas, we know that the anti-choice bills are not about being pro-life, OC raged, because if they were about pro-life, then the Republican Party would support, frankly, an agenda that helps guarantee health care, that helps ensure that people who do give birth, that they don't have the resources to care for a child, can have that care for a child. Okay, honey. I want to tell her only women can give birth. I don't know. I think at her age she should have known that. But OC said, and other liberals are so caught up in this new wake ideology that they actually deny the biological difference between men and women, claiming gender is just a social construct. Okay. Yeah, okay. OC, double down on the idea that there are no, I love this one, there are no physical and biological differences between men and women by adding that this legislation was about controlling the bodies of women and transgenders who OC called menstruating people. So we know that none of this is about life, she added. None of this is about supporting life. What this is about is controlling women's bodies and controlling people who are not cisgender men. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. This is about making sure that someone like me, as a woman, or any menstruating person in this country cannot make decisions over their own body. OC, yeah, I have to tell you a little secret. There is a biological difference between men and women, okay? Men, honey, cannot have babies. Even if a man decides to become a woman and has everything cut off and has a vagina put in, still cannot have a baby. I'm sorry. They cannot give birth. So, and menstruating people, all I know would be girls from the age of maybe 9 to whatever, to 60 or 65. They're the only ones who can have babies. I think maybe her mama should explain this to her again. So once again, here she is saying that the government cannot make decisions over their bodies. But didn't our governor, her president, and the Democrat Party just say that they're forcing us to do a vaccination and taking control of our bodies? So, I thought you would like that, John. Are you intending to have a baby anytime soon,
well,
John?
Well, you women keep saying that we men have our time of the month, too. I guess she really started believing it.
If there is a man out there, because we have no biological differences, I don't know, I was thinking who would have a baby. I think Sean or Lee should have a baby. Or maybe Scott.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe J-Board or Bruce. You hear that, guys? I guess it's time. And if that's the case, I would like to be your manager if that happens. But that's about it for tonight, guys. Please believe in America, not the media. And remember what Martin Luther King said. This is so important. He was such an important man to all of us. One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. So, truckers, fellow people, whoever is there, we are the heroes. Let's bring back our America. Let's bring back the America that we know and we love. That's it. Have a good night. Have a good week. See you next Sunday.
Oh. Candace Lee stopped to pay you a visit.
Who?
Candace Lee.
Yeah, I saw that. That was hard to do tonight.
You're going all by yourself for what, a whole hour?
Oh, yeah.
Just about, yeah. I was going to inject things, but you kept pulling right along. I'm like, okay, I'll leave her alone. I said don't correct her, so I'll leave her alone.
I didn't really need any correcting, I don't think, but